Hey everyone, welcome to Quantum Mind Hub Stories. Before we dive into this intense and heartfelt story, I'd love to hear your own thoughts, perspectives, and lessons learned in the comments section below. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with friends who love a good roller coaster of emotions. Alright, grab a comfy seat, and let's get started. In the vibrant heart of Lagos, beneath a blazing sunset that painted the sky in hues of orange and gold, a grand wedding unfolded, a union of worlds destined to collide. Kelechi, a proud and haughty man from an influential business dynasty, married Amara, a gentle and unassuming beauty whose origins whispered of simpler times. As family and friends gathered in an opulent hall adorned with African prints and vibrant decorations, Kelechi's eyes were fixed not on the joy of the occasion, but on his own reflection. He flaunted his status with a sneer as he ridiculed the modest attire and soft-spoken manners of his bride. "You are not of my world," he declared loudly, his voice echoing over the clamor of congratulatory cheers. Yet, behind Amara's serene smile, a secret lay hidden, a secret of royal blood and untold destiny. Though her past was veiled in whispers and half-truths, she bore it with quiet dignity. That day, as drums beat in celebration and the scent of jollof rice filled the air, the seeds of discord were sown. Guests exchanged uneasy glances, sensing that beneath the glittering surface of the wedding, a storm was brewing. A storm that would soon upend Kelechi's arrogant facade and expose the true power that lay dormant in Amara's heart. The newlyweds stepped into Kelechi's ancestral mansion, a sprawling estate that boasted marble corridors and intricate carvings telling stories of a bygone era. However, within these opulent walls, discord festered. Amara, with her humble background, found herself the target of relentless mockery not only from Kelechi but from his snobbish relatives who viewed her as an intruder in their lofty world. "A mere village girl cannot understand the ways of our refinement," they would whisper, their words laced with disdain as they passed by her in the grand hallways. Yet Amara's resolve was unyielding. Despite the cold stares and biting comments, she maintained a calm composure, her eyes holding secrets of ancient wisdom passed down through generations. Each day, she navigated the mansion's cold corridors with quiet grace, serving as a bridge between the mansion's elegant splendor and the simpler, heartfelt traditions of her childhood. In quiet moments, hidden behind tall hedges and fragrant blooms in the expansive garden, she allowed herself a single tear for the dreams she once cherished. Amid the laughter of the elite and the whispered mockery behind closed doors, Amara nurtured an inner strength that would later awaken the hidden royalty within her, a secret destined to alter the lives of everyone who underestimated her. In the solitude of the mansion's hidden corners, Amara found solace and a place to nurture her inner strength. Each night, by the dim light of a single kerosene lamp, she recorded her silent sorrows and quiet triumphs in a leather-bound diary passed down from her mother. Within its pages lay the stories of a humble childhood spent in the embrace of a small village where communal love and simple pleasures reigned supreme. It was in those modest beginnings that Amara learned the values of empathy, hard work, and resilience. Though her surroundings now contrasted sharply with her former life, she clung to the belief that true nobility was not measured by wealth or grandeur but by the strength of one's character. As the mansion's corridors buzzed with the ceaseless chatter of the elite, Amara moved like a quiet shadow, always present yet never overtly noticed. She spent her days assisting the staff, sharing kind words and gentle smiles that brought a rare warmth to their daily labors. In the midst of whispered rumors and covert glances, her diary became both a confidant and a silent witness to her struggles. It chronicled every subtle injustice, every silent tear, and every dream of vindication, hinting at a destiny far greater than the confines of her current existence. One sultry afternoon, while the humid air clung to the leaves of the manicured garden, a mysterious visitor arrived at the mansion. As Amara tended to the flower beds, a ritual that reminded her of her peaceful village days, a tall, dignified man approached, his presence commanding yet gentle. He wore an enigmatic smile and addressed her in a soft, respectful tone. "Your Highness, your beauty and grace outshine the brilliance of any crown." Startled yet unyielding, Amara's heart raced with the realization that her secret was slowly beginning to unfurl its wings. The gardener and a few loyal staff members peered from behind the hedges, their eyes wide with a mix of awe and trepidation. Whispers of an ancient lineage, long concealed by years of hardship and sacrifice, danced on the breeze as if to affirm the stranger's words. The man, whose features bore the marks of nobility and wisdom, revealed little about his identity, leaving Amara with more questions than answers. Their brief exchange was charged with an unspoken promise. A promise that the time for hidden truths was drawing near. For Amara, the encounter stirred not only her hope, but also a quiet fury against the relentless scorn that had marred her days. In that fleeting moment, the garden transformed into a sanctuary of secrets, where the past and the future converged in an almost palpable energy, signaling that the time had come for destiny to reclaim its rightful place. The next grand gala was meant to be a celebration of success and sophistication, yet it quickly turned into a stage for public humiliation. Amid the glittering chandeliers and melodious African rhythms, Kelechi's arrogance reached its peak. At the center of the grand ballroom, he launched into a tirade, dismissing Amara with venomous words. "You are nothing but a village girl, a poor, unrefined relic of a past that should be forgotten." His words, meant to belittle and isolate, resonated like a cruel echo through the opulent hall. Smartphones flashed in every direction as guests recorded his disgraceful outburst, broadcasting it instantly across social media. The video, raw and unfiltered, spread like wildfire, igniting outrage and transforming public opinion almost overnight. Faces that once revered him now contorted with indignation and disbelief, while whispers of sympathy for Amara swelled into a resounding chorus. Amid the shimmering glitter and forced laughter, Amara's eyes shone with a quiet defiance. Though her heart ached at the public shame, it also burned with a resolve to reclaim her dignity. In that charged atmosphere, the seeds of a revolution were sown, a revolution not just of social media outrage, but of a deeper, more intrinsic call for justice and respect. The gala, intended as a showcase of wealth and status, had inadvertently become the crucible in which Kelechi's downfall was being forged. Not long after that fateful night, the carefully guarded secrets of Amara's past began to leak into the public domain. The pages of her cherished diary, once confined to the privacy of her heart, were released anonymously to the world by a childhood friend determined to right the wrongs of prejudice. Each page unfolded a tale of hardship and hope, of a young girl raised in the humble outskirts of Osun, where every sunrise was a promise of a better tomorrow. The diary spoke of community, resilience, and the silent power of love, a stark contrast to the opulent, callous world Kelechi inhabited. With each word read by an increasingly outraged audience, the narrative began to shift. The public, once entertained by Kelechi's arrogance, now saw the injustice in his cruelty. Social media erupted with heartfelt posts, fiery commentaries, and tearful declarations of support for Amara. Her life story is a testament to true strength. One comment read, while another proclaimed, "No one should be made to feel less than they are." The diary, once a private repository of dreams and sorrows, had become a beacon of truth. It illuminated the stark differences between the superficial values of the privileged few and the enduring virtues of humility and integrity. As the pages turned into a movement, the collective conscience of the nation began to awaken, heralding the inevitable reckoning for those who had wronged her. Under the glaring lights of a televised family gathering, the long-held secret that had bound Amara's life in silence finally burst forth into the open. With a calm yet resolute voice, she stood before Kelechi's entire family, her eyes glistening with a mixture of sorrow and triumph. "I am the only heir of the Osun royal family," she declared, her words slicing through the tension in the room like a blade of truth. The revelation was as shocking as it was beautiful, a testament to a lineage steeped in wisdom, courage, and an unyielding sense of justice. Gasps filled the room as decades of condescension and cruelty were laid bare before an audience that could no longer deny the magnitude of her heritage. Even as Kelechi's face contorted with disbelief, the room's energy shifted. The whispers turned to murmurs of admiration and regret, and for the first time, the weight of his actions bore down on him. His once unassailable confidence crumbled, replaced by a dawning realization of the true cost of his pride. Amid the stunned silence, Amara's presence radiated strength, a quiet force that had grown with every painful moment and every silent tear shed in isolation. Her revelation was not just a personal triumph, but a transformative moment that challenged long-standing societal prejudices and redefined what it meant to be truly noble. As news of Amara's true identity spread like wildfire through the bustling streets of Lagos, Kelechi's empire began to crumble around him. Once celebrated as a titan of industry, his fortunes plummeted in the wake of public outrage and media scrutiny. Major sponsors, unwilling to be associated with his arrogance, began severing ties, and his business partners distanced themselves with cold efficiency. The very pillars that had upheld his grand image now turned against him. In boardrooms and upscale lounges, his name was spoken with a mixture of pity and contempt. How could someone so blinded by pride ignore the truth that lay before him? Critics and commentators lamented, their voices echoing in the corridors of power. Even within his own family, whispers of betrayal and regret grew louder with each passing day. Amid this chaos, Amara watched with a steady gaze that concealed a storm of conflicting emotions. She had the power to restore him, to salvage what remained of the man he once was, yet she chose to let karma take its course. In her heart, she knew that true transformation could only arise from the ashes of one's downfall. Kelechi's public humiliation was now a mirror reflecting the consequences of his past cruelty, a reckoning that none could escape. As the once mighty man sank into despair, the seeds of justice and retribution bore the bittersweet fruit of poetic irony. In a final, heart-wrenching twist of fate, the day came when Kelechi, now a broken shadow of his former self, found himself on his knees before the very woman he had so callously demeaned. The grand hall, once echoing with the sounds of opulent laughter and pride, was now eerily silent as he pleaded for forgiveness. "Please, Amara," he sobbed, his voice raw with desperation and regret. "I was blind, and now I see the error of my ways. I beg you, have mercy on me." His words, though laden with remorse, carried the weight of a lifetime spent in hubris and denial. The very floor upon which he knelt was the same one where Amara had once shed silent tears, a stark reminder of the suffering he had inflicted. For a long moment, time itself seemed to pause, allowing the full magnitude of the moment to sink in. In that charged silence, Amara's heart wavered between vindication and compassion. Yet, as much as her soul longed for reconciliation, she could not forget the countless hours of pain and degradation. In her eyes shone the light of hard-earned wisdom, a wisdom that understood forgiveness not as an absolution of guilt, but as a necessary step towards healing. Her voice, steady and resolute, cut through the still air. "Your apologies can never erase the scars you have inflicted." Even as the crowd murmured in sympathy for the fallen man, the truth remained undeniable. In the final act of her own epic tale, Amara chose to rise above the ruins of her past, embracing her destiny with unyielding grace and determination. She forgave, but not out of weakness. Rather, she forgave to free herself from the chains of bitterness that had once bound her spirit. With quiet resolve, she stepped away from the shattered remnants of a life steeped in cruelty and forged a new path, a path lit by the brilliance of her true identity. Amara established a women's empowerment center in the heart of Lagos, a sanctuary where voices long suppressed could find strength, and dreams once dismissed could be reborn. In this vibrant space, women from all walks of life gathered to share their stories, to learn, and to celebrate their inherent worth. Her journey from silent suffering to triumphant self-realization became an anthem for justice and resilience, resonating deeply with anyone who had ever felt diminished or cast aside. As her story spread across social media and echoed in the hearts of many, viewers were moved to action, urged to confront injustice wherever it lay. Let this tale be a reminder that true power lies not in wealth or status, but in the unwavering strength of the human spirit. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with friends, and comment your perspectives or key lessons learned. Let the legacy of Amara inspire us all.